What is going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about macros. What are they? How to use them? How to lose weight, most importantly. Hopefully wedded wife. You ready? I'm 5'5", 155 pounds. I've given you 3 examples, each with the exact same total calorie count. So what the most part is exactly macros. Macros are your macronutrients. They're your fat, your carbs, and your proteins. There's also macronutrients such as your vitamins and stuff, but for the sake of the shortness of the video, we're going to talk about your macronutrients.
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
What it is essentially, it's like calorie counting, but a little bit more precise. Each individual is going to have their exact numbers where their body is going to lose weight depending on the number, or gain weight, which is considered clean bulking, is when you don't just eat whatever you want and lift weights. You actually give yourself a caloric surplus, and then because you're in a little bit of a surplus, you're able to lift more weight and not gain too much, I guess, adipose tissue or fat, because you're kind of restricting your body and how much calories you're having. Again, that's for another video. Today we're just talking about macros. So example number 1 is the macros I have been doing since roughly about a year now. Since I became a dad, I kind of fell off a little bit. You watched my last video. I was up about 170 pounds. I'm down to 155 right now, and I've been consistently on example number 1 for my macros. Example number 2 is the same calorie count, but you'll see a little bit of a difference, which is the fat. You see 80 grams of fat, and I dropped my carbs down to 230, and you see my protein is exactly the same. What is that for, you ask? Well, to be simplistic, when you digest fat and you break it down, your body breaks it down, it needs to have something called aerobic, which is oxygen. It needs oxygen to break it down. So therefore, if you're exercising, or if you're running, or if you're really active, you're not really giving your time or your body enough time to oxygenate enough to actually digest. It's kind of like your fight or flight. If you're running, you're not thinking about going to the restroom. Guarantee you that. So in the same sense as this, if you're sedentary and your job is relying on a lot of you just kind of sitting down, or you're really complacent, a little bit higher fat will probably do you better than having a bunch of carbs, because carbs are quick energy. They don't really keep you full for a long time, but you start breaking down your saliva, and it breaks down via oxygen or non-oxygen. It doesn't matter if you have anaerobic or aerobic, it's going to break down carbs. So if you're relatively sedentary, you're not going to break down very much carbs. You don't really need them, and so that's why you see more of a fat. Also in keto, but that's carbs will go way down, besides the point. And your carbs, and my carbs are around 80% of my ideal body weight. I did it roughly 80% of 155, which is 124. I like pretty numbers. It's easier for me to hit mentally. So that's why you'll see these all be kind of pretty. Is if, let's say, I'm not losing any weight, or I'm kind of sedentary, I actually drop down both my fat and my carbs, still keeping my total calories actually the exact same. What I did was I compensated and I had more protein. So it's kind of like you're losing weight in this stage, but you're still having the same. So you still have that sense of fullness. You don't have that craving that you're gonna have, because obviously you're going down a little bit, so you're not gonna have as much of food that you probably prefer, because this means you're probably gonna have more protein shakes and meats and stuff like that, which is for the most part not something you want more of in most cases, especially when you're dieting. You kind of want to have more of the fats and the carbs. But this would be example number 3, would be a very good kind of plateau. If you feel like you stopped losing weight and you've already dropped a little bit of each number and neither of them worked, drop down both. It wasn't much, as you can see. I only dropped down 7 on the fat, and I dropped down 15 on the carbs, so it wasn't very much, but at the same time, my total calories are exactly the same. So how do you find your numbers? Well, that's gonna be based off, in all reality, trial and error. You're gonna base your numbers, like I said, I'm 5'5", 155. I feel pretty good at my weight. Let's say if you're 6 foot, you're a taller person, which means at base you're gonna need more calories. So a good starting point, these are, I don't know the individual, I just made up a random number. Let's say that individual would get 75 grams of fat, 320 carbs, and 180 grams of protein. That would be that individual starting weight at 6 foot, 240 pounds. Those are rough numbers. I really don't know that individual. I can't really picture them, not that imaginative. But nevertheless, so let's say that individual does that macro count, these ones, for about 4 days, the ones I gave you. and they lose no weight, and they're pretty sedentary at work. Okay, well, let's just drop the carbs a little bit, go up on the fat, and see how that works. The goal is to literally give you as high numbers as you possibly can and lose weight, because you don't want to be losing weight and then still going down your numbers, because where does that lead you? And when you're desperate and you're plateaued, you've lost 20 pounds, you want to lose 5 more, and you've already gone down. You're gonna be dressed, you're gonna be starving, you're gonna be miserable. The point is to lose weight. Like I said, I've been in these macros since I was 170 pounds. I'm 153 as of today. I have not touched the numbers. I should theoretically change them based on my work schedule, because I do work 6 days straight. I don't work out on those 6 days because I work all night. I come home, I sleep, then I spend time with my family, then I go back to work. I work 12 and a half hours at nighttime at the hospital. So I should theoretically change them, because obviously I'm more sedentary on my days off on work than I am when I'm off of work. But like I said, I have continued lost weight at the exact same numbers I started with. I'm not changing them until I start to see a plateau, then I'll change them. So for the example I gave you, if that individual is more sedentary at baseline, he's only working out twice a week, then we can try going up on the fat, down on the carbs, and see where that goes. Again, try 4 days of that. Be patient. It didn't take you, somebody once told me, it didn't take you, 5 days to gain that weight that you're trying to lose. It probably took you months and months, years. So be patient when it comes to losing that weight. I'm not gonna say it's gonna take you years and years, but it is gonna take some time for you to start losing that weight. It didn't come on to you drastically. It won't leave you drastically. So take your time, find those numbers. If, like I said in that example, we went up on the fat, down on the carbs, and hey, that individual lost half a pound in 4 days, continue those numbers for the week. And then if he continues losing half a pound a week, keep it at that. I mean, yeah, technically you could be a little more drastic and lose about a pound a week. So he can technically go down a little bit more on the carbs. He can even go down on the fat a little bit more. But like I said, the goal is to lose weight, be it even if it's minimal amount of weight, continually at the highest number possible. That is the goal. So I'm going to show you some examples on my phone of a couple of days of me eating. I'm going to show you how to use the MyFitnessPal app. Back in the day, it used to be a lot cooler because it was free, and then it got bought out, and now it's all expensive and all this frou-frou stuff. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you how to get around all that fancy stuff and use it, lose weight, get motivated. I'll see you guys right now. Log into MyFitnessPal. You're going to make an account. It's going to ask you for your goal, your weight, your calorie settings, what you want to do, how much weight you want to lose. It honestly doesn't even matter. Just put whatever you want, because at the end of the day, I'm going to show you how to use this without having to buy the premium or do anything. So all you have to do to start MyFitnessPal is to remember your numbers. My numbers are 285 carbs, 65 fat, and 120 protein. We're going to go to diary, and we're going to go, and I'm going to show you a couple days worth of eating. So you're going to see Friday, October 22nd, 285, right on point, a little under on fat, a little under on protein. That's fine. A little under on carbs, perfect on fat, a little over on protein, still fine. 269, a little under, 55 or 66, a little over, protein a little under. So as you can see, every day is a little bit different. The point is, I have my numbers in my mind. I know what they need to be. I know how close I can get to them and lose weight at the end of each week. And that is the goal. I'm not trying to be a supermodel fitness person or whatever the case may be. I'm not trying to do a competition. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just honestly trying to live my life, a healthier life, and lose weight. So in that sense, this is why you see my numbers vary. If I have a bodybuilding competition, or if you're a power lifter, or if you're really, really on point on trying to lose weight, then you would see these numbers go exactly every single day, be the same. In my case, like I said, I'm not trying to do any of that. And so for that reason, you're going to see them have some variations from day to day, which is absolutely fine with me. So what you're going to do, let's go to an empty date. Let's go here. So let's say you wake up in the morning, you're not a big breakfast eater. Okay, that's fine. We can have a little light cherry. This is a Danum Greek yogurt. We'll have that. That's perfect. And then we go to lunch. Let's say you want a little bit of a bigger lunch. You're hungry. You could do things like scan your meals, which makes it super easy. You can also do a multi-meal, which I can do for this. I did, where is it? Pita bread, pizza sauce, pepperoni. That's it right there. Reduced fat cheese, provolone. So this is a little pizza that I do at home on a flatbread. I put pizza sauce on there, cheese, turkey, pepperoni. It's super good. It's super fast. I put it in the air fryer. It's a great filling meal. You would add that. And let's say you've been on the diet for a couple days and you're hungry. You can have an In-N-Out hamburger if you want. You can have whatever your cravings are as long as they fit your requirements. So In-N-Out, double, one burger. A lot of fat, but you know what? The whole point of this is to satisfy your cravings so that you stay on point with your diet. So let's say we have that. You have a great little like after lunch meal. You're feeling really good. You want some snacks. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we can check. We're going to go to remaining. It's usually going to go to calories. That doesn't matter. Nutrients doesn't really matter to me. Macros is what matters because I know my numbers for the day, which is 285, 65, 120. This gives me a reference where I need to be. I have lots of room for carbs, not much more room for fat, and I'm doing decent on protein. So let's say for snacks, veggies and fruits are really, really good at carbs. Hardly any fat in most of them. So about 191 is one whole apple. Let's have that. That's good. And let's say you're a strawberry person. I like to do the weight. We can do 1 gram or we can do 100 grams, whatever is easier for you. We'll add that. So we did 500 grams of strawberry. I don't know if you know how much 500 grams of strawberries are, but it's a lot of strawberries. With an apple, you're going to feel content. You're going to have a little bit of that sweetness, down since you had a nice savory burger. And you're going to be feeling pretty good at this time. We're going to come back and check. We're going to be at 143, 55, and 77. No protein has gone up because usually fruits and veggies don't have any. Then we're going to go to dinner. And let's say for dinner, I make a lot of chicken for the week. I alternate between chicken and ground beef. Let's say there. That's the chicken I use. It's Costco brand. I make it in the crock pot or pressure cooker. 4 ounces. That puts me at 65 grams of fat perfectly. But, honestly, what is just chicken straight? You could have it like that, I suppose. But for me, I'm going to have it on at least one bun. It's 1.5 grams of fat, so it will put me over by 2. That's fine. Like I said earlier, I'm not trying to do exactly perfect. I just know where I need to be roughly. So now that we got that, let's this sweet and sour barbecue sauce, let's just drench it with 51 carbs. It's ridiculous. You can definitely choose better alternates to it. You can have the low sugar barbecue sauce. There's a bunch out there that are very minimal on carbs. Just for the sake of the video, this is the one I'm going to use. 51 carbs, a lot. And let's see where we are. So I'm at 220 carbs, 67 fat, 118. I can no longer have any more fat. I don't want to go over anymore. Protein is the same. I don't really want to go any more on protein. I could have 2 more grams, but nothing really has 2 grams of protein. Not worth it. So it's near the end of the night. Let's say I have a little bit of a sweet tooth, or I want to eat something kind of nice or tasty. Mango chili. These are from Costco, the Kirkland. I don't really know exactly who makes them. I forget, but they're freaking delicious. I guess Nutty and Fruity makes them, but it's just mango chili slices, high on carbs. Let's just do that, 60. And then where does that put me? A little under on carbs for the end of the day, a little over on fat. Protein is where it really needs to be. That's what a day would look like. You have my breakfast, which is light, lunch, dinner, and my snacks. And if, let's say, you're not a big breakfast guy, you can go ahead and skip that. If you do intermittent fasting, you cannot eat for, 12, 14, 16 hours, whatever the case may be, and you have more of your food grouped together, like in lunchtime, or you can have all your meals at dinner time. It doesn't matter. The point is, by the end of the night, finish your macros for the day. Keep them the same for a couple days. See where you are. And if you lose weight, half a pound, a pound and a half to a week, those are great macros. Stick to those ones until you plateau or until you don't lose any weight, and then try making changes like we talked about earlier in the video. If you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like. Have a rad day, guys.